welcome to Saturday. Out of the 3 races we had yesterday, only or 9 races, only 3 of them had short prices. The rest of them were double digits, Keith.
Yeah, I think we started the first 5 of 6 races
did.
were double-digit winners. So, yeah, good value to be had. Good early pick 5 strong there. Jose Magana Day yesterday
Yes.
with a couple winners, Matitude and Freeze the Fire, who I thought we'd have a little value at 5-1 on the morning line. I don't know. Word must have spread real quick as that horse got throttled down in the wagering and really ran big. Took some pressure, battled, was able to hold firm late. We got our other horse off the claim there for second, the DePaz horse. But, yeah, all in all, pretty good day. Caught the late pick 3, didn't pay a ton, but we got some money to move forward with.
Yeah.
But
That was your goal.
that is our goal. We kind of grind, churn along here, and we take it into another nice, beautiful, clear skies here on the Saturday racing card. We could take a look outside, and we've got fast and firm, right?
Yep.
And we've got some heat. Need to cure a little hot. But we're dealing with team effort here with everybody, doing a great job with these horses. Unsung heroes that are working out here. I saw Georgianne even out here on the track yesterday, helping hosing everything off, and Phoebe doing a great job.
Dr. Heidi leading the team on that, so that's
Yeah.
just a nice team effort to see there.
Yes.
And as we just kind of roll along through in that spirit of throughout the weekend, we are going to start off with this first leg of the early pick 5 in a maiden special way, going 5 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 2-year-old fillies, scratching the 4, scratching the 7. Keith, you have the number 6 on top. Shared Shenanigans. I do like that name. Grand Motion. Victor Carrasco on the outside.
Yeah, $500,000 purchase. The family is certainly there, isn't it? Sharing, Breeders' Cup Juvenile filly turf winner, broke the maiden on the dirt. Second start. That was an off-the-turf event. Go back second dam shared account. So plenty of turf there. But looking at these works, and, I'm not a huge work guy, but I'm going to pay attention to a few of these up at Fair Hill. They match up with the right kind. That May 24th, I've got it kind of working in there. Where was it? I think you had a Contempt work that day. That was a motion horse, 48 flat. That wasn't even out of the gate. And hit the Road Brat motion runner out of the gate. Might have worked with this one. Got the job done first out of being on the turf. So now we're very early at 1 to 5. Somebody might have plunked down $100. But, yeah, I'll take the shot here. Pure Majestic, Thunder in Paris, Video Spotlight. They'd come out of the same race on May the 25th at Pimmy. Maybe Pure Majestic improved second out, hit the gate and debut. Might be the speed if these firsters don't show up with the early zip. But I thought both of them ran very credibly here behind. No question about it for Trombi. Got it done. There's the chaser, Pure Majestic. Now working out is Thunder in Paris in mid-stretch, and both of these bring a pretty good run. A touch of a hang, Pure Majestic. This Thunder in Paris rallies. He's 3 for 5. Last 5 2-year-olds making their second career start. A little bit better there at the end. Just ran out of ground. Zopped at the wire. So I go 6-5-1-2 in the opener.
Yeah, why not? There we go. Let's go on to the second race. Keith, let's take a look at your early pick 4.
Okay.
As you mentioned, your late pick 3 paid out yesterday. Let's see what you have for our early pick 4.
Yeah, it's a $24 ticket, race 3. I got absolutely no clue. I was on this race for 25, 30 minutes this morning, cup of coffee, the cats all around, getting all over the PPs, and couldn't get any kind of real feel for race 3. But we're going to start out race 2, Mama's Lino, the 2 and the 4. Wait till the midnight hour. Had Trombi get off the break with these turf sprinters. Race 3, there's Spreadarama. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. Race 4, 2 deep. 2 and the 5 play like a Raven. 5 Wisecrack Warrior. First are coming in here from Grantville. And race 5, the 1 and the 3. Psychedelic Shack brings a slew of speed. Lasix back on in race number 5. $24 early pick 4 ticket.
Like that spread there. We'll discuss race number 3 in just a moment, but before that, we'll start in the first leg with Keith Usel's early pick 4 in this on the turf as well, claiming at 20,000. 5.5 here for the girls 3 and up. Scratches in the 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So those AEs. The 11 does run. Keith, you have that one in your picks. But before we talk about the 11, let's talk about the number 2 who you have in your top selection. Let's take a look back at Mama's Lino's last effort, first time on the turf.
Yeah, it was good. And we talked about the family of this 3-year-old filly by Uncle Lino out of the aftermarket mare last time. Second Dam was really pretty consistent on the turf. 2 for 13, 7 of 13 in the money. Mama's Lino took to early rating, which you like to see. She's had a tendency some of her races to kind of fight a little bit of restraint, but she settled much better this particular afternoon going longer. Makes the move into Major Houlihan, and they pick it up 23, 246, and 410 and change. Pretty brisk internals. She gives way grudgingly the last eighth of a mile. Catch the Kitten gets the better trip off the dual inside-out trip, came back to run big. Major Houlihan came back to win. So key race there. I talked about that final time, only a tick off of a pretty good race the next day. Similar turf course, same rail setting and everything. So Mama's Lino turning back. She's proven going short. I think she sits a good trip here with Forest Boys from just off the pace. I think she'll take the rating, let a couple of these other speed horses go and try to pounce top of the stretch.
Let's also talk about Concrete Phase for Derek, now in the barn of Derek Param, Andrea Chavez. Also, wonderful effort, first time on the turf, last time out as well.
Yeah, you just kind of see this. Jumped up there, ran really big, squeezed in tight at the break, gave up a couple lengths there. Patient ride by Chavez, down inside, kind of had to work through a little traffic the last 3/16 of a mile to shift out late. This filly was rolling at the wire. Roll just, another stride, and is going to go stride or two goes by Molly Tapper for the place. I like that improvement. Draws in here, so don't forget the 11 is in. Can make that run from off the pace. Wait till the midnight hour. Here's the Trombi, the turf. They've all been pretty much running well. Turf sprints off the 180, 23% the last couple of years. You got to pay attention to that every time. A momentous miss. Carmanos is going to go here. Interesting little move. Hasn't been seen since October. Ran very well off of a real long break back last summer at Club Colonial. Got the lead, just got beat. But, certainly works in here. I'm keying around Mama's Lino. Concrete Phase as your price shot in race 2.
And there we go. 2:11.46 for Keith Usel there in race number 2. Race number 3 is claiming 30,000, which have never won 3, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. No scratches here, Keith. You go with the rail horse in Macklin for Steve Placeris. Jamie Rodriguez gets the call.
Yeah, I don't know. A little stranger. I'm at a loss kind of this race. We'll talk about Macklin real quick. Made a big jump from synthetic to dirt. 2 for its first 2. When going from the synth down at Gulfstream to the main track, 5.5, then 6.5, and really kind of once with something left in that 2-back try. Now, the most recent try, they tried to stretch him out a little bit further. He got bounced around at the break, settled back off the pace, a little chirp to mid-turn. Field got away, and that was it. This horse flattened out the last eighth of a mile, comes back to 7/8. I think with a good break can get position. The speed's going to be Barron's Legacy. Dance for Green, very sharp for Rob. I don't have that one in there, but will be in my exactas. 2 for its last 2. Got away with a little softer flow, but, man, did it easily. Well in hand, taking pressure. Kicked away a Pimmy. But I go 1-2, Master of None. Tossed the last race at Delaware. A lot of things went amiss. Awkward start, bobbled off, unbalanced was one of the comments our chart callers used up there. So I'm going to just give that one a line right on through, but I think 7/8 works well. This horse has positional speed going longer. I think it's going to work at 7/8 of a mile here today to look at that speed, stalk, and move into it. Barron's Legacy, another one. Just dismissed the last. Jump tracks took up in its turf debut. Back to the preferred surface, brings speed, brings a little stamina. Andres Garibay, sneaky trainer, doesn't run a lot of horses, but hitting at a good clip, stays around. Order the Kettle, the other Garibay, the dead closer. Might have the other one set things up and roll into it. 1, 2, 3, 9. That's my best guess in race 3.
Race number 4 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. If we could take a look at the ticket really quickly, I can guide you through that. $21.60. So I single in the first race in race number 4 in Play Like a Raven. We'll get to that in a moment. 3 deep in races 5, 7, and 8. I do press the all button. I don't know. Is it normally supposed to? Anyway, Keith, if we go to,
like
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we go 2 deep in races 6 and 9, $21.60. Let's carry it on to the rest of this first leg in this maiden special weight. 3/4 of a mile for these straight 3-year-olds. Scratch in the 4 Villaluz. You have the number 5 on top still. Wise Crack Warrior here in the barn of Mark Salvaggio, and Anthony Salgado gets the call.
And my theory here, I never take firsters, very rarely in the second position. This one's going to go on top. It was a scratch a couple weeks ago from a 7/8 maiden 45, I believe. Comes back here, working forwardly at Penn. Here's another thing. I don't really get caught up, but I'm getting caught up in the works of this one because Mike Salvaggio had a runner by the name of Guardian Prince. Also worked May 3rd. I'm thinking these guys might have worked together. Guardian Prince came out and blistered a field at Penn and debut with a 68 buyer. Came back here second start. A little bit of trouble, shuffled all over. This one, okay. Half to a graded stakes winner. Another one, Irish, it might have been Irish too well. Another horse ran well in stakes. I just think they're going to come down here possibly with the goods. Should set up a pretty brisk pace up front. Play Like a Raven will go to the video here. Play Like a Raven at Delaware. Ran into Boy Magic. It was a Delgado firster that took a lot of money, came back to win and beat Catahoula Moon second out. I like the way Play Like a Raven relaxed 4 wide early. Really wasn't scrubbed on. Gets pushed on here, leaving the 3/8 to the quarter. Presses. The negative, left lead pretty much the entire way through the stretch. But, we'll give him a pass. He's 2 moving to 3 here. Showed the ability to sit. Comes back off the layoff, which is Barnes is just deadly at. Lasix going on. The blinkers coming off. A couple little tweaks here. Could prompt Wisecrack Warrior if that one wants to go. Salgado is coming down, it looks like, for the ride. Bringing the hometown rider for Salvaggio. So one of these two to win it. Skylar's brother, improved second out off of a troubled debut. Had dead aim, though. Looked like a winner top of the stretch. Maybe the 6 furlongs backing up a furlong should work. 5-2-1-3. There you go.
There you go. There you go, indeed. Let's go to the late pick 5 in that starter optional 12-5, going 5 furlongs on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching the 4, scratching the 5. Keith, you and I both go with Charmed. This is in the barn of Patrick Noosh, Carlos Lopez. Let's take a look at that effort. Last time out last year, last turf run on the November 14th of last year.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good run. First off the claim, 6 furlongs. Okay, so a little longer run in the turn, gets hung out 4 wide, unfortunately, against a really good group. Boss is a pal. You see horses below that on the running lines. Lucci, really crack starter allowance turf sprinters. This horse churns on, makes a little run here. Just a slight flattening out late, only beaten a length and a quarter when it's all said and done. Now, Freshen, Patrick Noosh hasn't won a ton of races the last couple of years. Maybe this guy gets him back on track this afternoon. I think he sits a beautiful trip inside, not nearly as quick early as Psychedelic Shack, who's super fast, breaks on top almost every race. Smitten enough will be there, could be a little bit of a nuisance, just enough pressure to soften the one inside-out trip. Just stay on that rail to about the head of the lane, Lopez. Work outward and get it done through the last 3/16 of a mile.
What about Sue Loves Barbados for Gina Perry, who's been on a really good roll as lately? She had a nice at least that was a $9-to-1 winner that she had yesterday on the turf with Always Fun. So we get the same team up with Fergal Lynch here today with this old veteran here.
Yeah, Rodman, if he was on the show yesterday, he would have given you Always Fun. I threw that horse into a pick 3 because of him. It was a good pickup that he had. To have that one coming back. But Sue Loves Barbados, patiently handled behind the Psychedelic Shack last time. I like the fact that he finished up quite well into a lone speed. Might get that extra help that he needs with Smitten enough forcing that issue.
There we go. 3, 1, 11, 2 in race number 5 as Keith Fusel sees it as well as I do. We'll be right back after this commercial for the rest of Saturday's card. And welcome back. We are here for this Jackpot Super High 5 and the start of the late pick 4 here in this claiming a 7,500, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 2, 4, 10, and a late scratch of the 6. Keith, you land on the number 7. That's Mr. Mo. Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez team up once again here.
Reunited. X-Man and That's Mr. Mo along with Jerry Robb. This horse goes 3rd time gelding. Not so good. Much better field 2 back. A little trouble, though. You see that little shuffle. Comes back. 6 furlongs again. Rad Paisley dictating on the lead. Hung wide into that flow, didn't get it done. This horse has improved numbers. Third time gelding. Good races at 7/8 of a mile. X-Man has won on this horse. I think gets positioned just off of Morning Thoughts and Working on a Dream, and let's hope he's there with Aim, top of the stretch, and get you home at a little bit of a price. We lose the price now because some of these scratches.
And certainly will as we carry on to the number 9 formal order.
Yeah.
Billy Campbell, J.D. Acosta also team up. This is a couple of nice fun team ups here in this race.
Yeah, and this horse has run well. 3 wins out of 7 starts with 2/3 at this distance, the mile distance. Really, again, got play last time. Went so slow early. This guy needs a little help. He doesn't have the positional speed as my top selection. He's gonna need Morning Thoughts and Working on Dreams set a decent enough pace. But I like right back at the mile distance is going to work for a very capable barn to sit and move into. That was a good try 2 races back.
Why not? You also team up with the 5 and the 8 underneath, with the 5 and Working on a Dream. Bruno Tesori, Carlos Lopez, and the 8 on the outside. Morning Thoughts for Hugh McMahon with Gina Vello, we mentioned the Gina Perry runner. I will say Vello rode that one very, very nicely as that winner yesterday.
Talk about he's an underrated rider.
Agreed.
I mean, you get lost in the shuffle here with some of these riders. You got bugs, apprentices you're dealing with, established riders that are set with outfits. And there he kind of lays. So, he does a very good job. That was a beautiful rating job. Went on the attack around the turn inside and got it done. But Working on a Dream, a little hiccup there at the break. That kind of cost him. I think he's a little bit faster than Morning Thoughts. If he breaks clear and breaks cleanly, he can go on with it. So 7-9-5-8. That's Mr. Mo. We'll see what happens.
We're back to the turf here for race number 7 in a maiden claiming 30,000, 5.5 on the turf for the girls, 3, 4, and 5. Keith, you go with the number 2 on the inside. St. Devereaux for first-time starter for Linda Albert with Victor Carrasco.
Another race I'm just kind of scrambling with. This is not a love kind of pick. I'm just taking a shot. St. Devereaux out of that digital sale, right? I think they spent a little bit more if I was reading Dan's stuff earlier. Prior, and then boom, comes back 24. But you know what? Worked okay. Got on the turf course and actually worked a couple fifths faster than a horse that won yesterday. I know that probably reaching here. Little Lance, who ran a pretty good number, dead game, taking the pressure and holding on late. Bottom side, Loveheart, 0 for 4 on the turf, 6 for 21 overall. But Uncle Lino, been okay with some turf runners, and usually we're going to get a little speed. I'll take a shot here. If this horse isn't on the lead, I'm going to be worried.
No, I see it. I definitely see it. The number 7, Princess Lucia for Hugh McMahon, Fergal Lynch, second time on the turf. Decent outing while Fergal just kind of took this one back, went to the outside, and said, hey, let's just see what we've got here, and had a little bit of something.
That's a perfect description of the ride that day.
Yes.
At no point was he in any hurry with this horse. He got in a little bit of hurry at the 3/16 when he got swung out about 6-7 wide.
Right.
And she finished up very well, very well. Kept on well through the gallop out. Now they're going to bump up and protect a little bit up to 37.5. Yes, if things get heated, she's going to make a strong run into it today.
Intel Agent and Lady Limoncello, wrap up your picks here, Keith. Any spots on them?
Well, both of them had a little trouble. Precarious spots there coming past mid-stretch. Lady Limoncello might have had a little bit tougher trip. They finished kind of even going out in the gallop out, but I think both of them, they're hard to separate. If you use one, I think you got to use both, and your exact is, let's see if there's anybody else I can touch upon. T-Rose, beaten favorite last time at 4-5, just got left at the gate. I mean, just stood there, and that was it. So lost all chance.
There we have it. 2-7-1-4 in race number 7 for Keith Fustel. Race number 8 is an allowance optional 62.5, a mile and 16th on the dirt for these 3-year-olds. Scratches in the 2, 3, 5 leave a 3-horse field. Keith, you have the number 4 on top. Work is life. Let's take a look at that effort for Mikey Girales on the off-going back in Pimlico on the 12th of May.
Yeah, this is good. So the blinkers went on 2 races back. He is now perfect with the blinkers and relaxed beautifully out there 4 wide. Wasn't phased a bit. Look at this. Makes the bid not even ask leaving the far turn. And Work His Life is going to open up mid-stretch, hold sway under pressure. Going great guns now for Mikey Girales. Got it done protected, now unprotected. I like that move. You get that chance there with these horses in this allowance, the kind of optional a other than. So that's good for the owners and everybody to kind of work it out. Anybody wants to jump in, that's a score here for Workers Life. But I think he can still lay close enough. Waldrop and Rakia. This field, nobody wants to let anybody get too far away and relaxed, right? So I like this horse 2 for 2 with the blinkers on. Short price.
461, Keith Usel in race number 8. And to wrap things up here for the day, race number 9 back on the turf, the lovely Laurel lawn. In this maiden claiming 20,000, a mile and 16 on the turf, as mentioned. For these girls, 3 to 5, scratching the 1, Magically Vanished, scratching the 7, Battle Tested. Keith, you have the number 3 on top. Lady Ophelia, Madison Myers, Jean Brasino gets the call.
Yeah, thought that was an okay race. It transferred at 105 to 1, transferred to the turf last time at Pimlico. And I'm just kind of comparing the internal fractions between Lady Ophelia's race and the Wilma Flintshire, Easter Sunday Girl, Channel Loop, that whole group. Now, when you kind of carry out the finish, pretty close. So yeah, I kind of made that move late, a little closer to tougher internals. I think she might pop to the front here, be able to control it. All turf bottom side. That's why I kind of like that horse, a little bit of a big number last time. So let's see if this one can relax and bring a finish.
Let's also talk about the number 5. You mentioned Wilma Flintshire. Let's go ahead to the number 9 and 10 that you have. Easter Sunday Girl, Damon Deal DeVico, Sheldon Russell, and then Channel Loop with Mike Trombetta and Jamie Rodriguez. They kind of battled against each other last time out on the 27th of May over at Pimlico.
Yeah, into the first turn, you're going to see Channel Loop there in those green silks force. Kind of have to tap the brakes. A little steady here behind Easter Sunday Girl. She's able to recover. She's a little keyed up after that for about a 16th of a mile, but then she does settle. Easter Sunday Girl got into a great spot here with Sheldon Russell through the backstretch run and took advantage of this little opening, right? The offing right there inside, gets the lead and looks home, but way, way, way outside is going to be Juniper Juice, who comes back to win at Parks with a good improved number. So Easter Sunday Girl, maybe she just didn't see that horse, you know.
That happens a lot.
Yeah,
yes.
she dug in well through the wire. There was Channel Loop churning on through a little bit of traffic in between horses the last 1/8 of a mile. Wilma Flintshire was also in that race. I'm going to use her in here. Might get a little bit more value. She did not have it easy either. Off slow, a little steady early. I should have shown that too. Overland trip, the move in a flat and second off the break, and she ran against the right kind at 2. I expect her to improve second off the bench here for Robbie Bales. 3, 5, 9, 10. Again, nothing super strong in there. I'll mix and match a couple of those, and hopefully we can connect. But Lady Ophelia out of that race, dead sexy. I think it was another Madison Meyer horse. I ran a 65 last week, so that kind of number would beat this group.
Well, you mentioned earlier you weren't particularly in love with anybody, so you don't have a best bet, but you do have a value play for us there in race number 6. That's our Jackpot Super High 5 race. Starts the late pick 4 as well on the number 7, 12 to 1. That's Mr. Mo for Jerry, Rob, and Xavier Perez. Yeah,
we thought we might get 12, 10 to 1. We're going to probably get about 9 to 2, 6 to 1, I think, when it's all said and done. It's just that back in that barn, back with a rider that's gotten along well with That's Mr. Mo. I think he can get perfect position off the speeds, and hopefully if he's lurking top of the stretch, loaded up with some run, he can get on by.
We talked about Copper Tax back in the Tessio with a win and you're in for Preakness. They opted out of the running in the Preakness, but they're going to be running in the Ohio Derby today over at Thistle Downs. That will be in race number 13. There's already some scratches in that race. We're looking at a 6-horse field. And really the biggest competition that we have for this one is Catching Freedom, who was a decent, of course, a decent third in the Preakness on the off-going last time out. Also 4th in the Kentucky Derby. So again, fine. I think this is the perfect move for Copper Tax here today.
Catch a nice 6-horse field, big money. Absolutely. Good luck to the home team there at Ohio. Yeah, Catching Freedom be tough. Copper Tax, you know, and Gary, he spots him right. I think he'll show up today.
Also running against Ghoul's Gold for Kenny McPeak, who was 2nd in the Sir Barton over at Pimlico. So that same day, just on the undercard before Preakness. Other notables are first time against winners for Bill Mott. Uncle Heavy Butch Reed.
Uncle Heavy, yeah.
Uncle Heavy's going to
All
be
right.
running, who also ran in the Preakness last time out. Didn't really attend to that off-going
No.
a bit too
Nope.
much, particularly at Pimlico. Handled it in the weather's no problem, but
Yeah.
the Pimlico mud was not to be with this one. But with the way this race is looking to set up, there's going to be some fun targets that Copper Tax is going to be having.
Okay. Yeah,
So.
I need to get upstairs and take a little closer look at the Ohio Derby.
Well, there we go. Best of luck to our Capuano contingency and Rose Petal Stables. And we will also take it to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.